Hey everybody, Howard Jacobson here with Sick to Fit, Plant Yourself Well Start Health, and I'm joined by Mergoddess, Sarah
Woo!
Bofinger. How's it going?
Hello. Great. How are you doing?
Good. So you're back home after nationals, eh?
Yep. And I've met with my new coach and I've been changing up my training and I'm just really excited to see some new growth going on. So,
Awesome, awesome. So I'm just pulling up the comments so I can see what folks are thinking and saying. So I wanted to talk to you today about food, right? Because last time we talked about, like you're not a wealthy person at this point in terms of dollars.
yeah.
And, you went out to California for what, like a week or two,
Uh-huh.
and you eat really healthy.
Yes.
And so I know people are always interested in like, how do you do that? Like, okay, so you're home, you just eat beans and rice, and it's boring, but it's cheap. Like people have these at least they have concepts about how you eat healthy at home and how you might be able to do it on a budget. But in terms of like traveling, you have it, how do you manage to eat well and not go out to dinner every night or not have to sacrifice your standards?
Well, one good thing that happened in California was I brought Captain America, aka Mike, and he's like the chef. And so he's basically been able to create these like amazing meals that are, plant-based and they don't have much oil in them, seasoning, like just being able to make it really taste well. So that was a good thing going into this. But sometimes I don't have him on my trips. And so I just like stick with the basics, like I'll bring some jars with me and I'll make overnight oats, which is like a really simple thing where you can just like put chia seeds and oats and fruit and almond milk and like let it sit overnight. And in the morning, you can add more berries or fruit, whatever, your preference. And like that's like a really great nutrient dense fuel, like to just start my day. And then I just will eat, fruits and vegetables throughout the day as snacks. I really like hummus, guacamole, and so like when I'm on my own, I'm doing a lot of like fruits and vegetables and oatmeal and beans and sweet potatoes, and things like that. But when I do get to have my chef, I'll we'll get to eat like cauliflower pizza, which like he's been like I'm really into pizza like as a swimmer. Like we used to go to Pizza Hut like and basically just have all these like almost pizza contests where like you're trying to eat like a whole large pizza after swimming like a mile, right? Like
Uh-huh.
as a kid I was a distance swimmer, and so like our thing was after, a race, like we would go and eat like a cheese pizza, right? And so like pizza is like my favorite food, but I wanted to be able to eat it healthy, and not have all those complications while I wanted to eat good. So he's been able to create his own crust, so we're not having to buy, we know exactly what's going in it. Sometimes he makes it with cauliflower, sometimes almond flour, tapioca flour. He gets really creative with his dough,
Uh-huh.
and it's pretty amazing.
So were you staying in a place that had full kitchens?
Yeah, so basically since so I'm going on my second year now. Can you believe it? Like you first met me when it was like 100 days of plant-based, and
That's
now I'm
right.
like, I'm almost on like 2 years, so this is really exciting. But yeah, so every time I travel, like I always look for an Airbnb, and it's really like a plush for the kitchen. Like I want the kitchen to be like really high standard, and like if I
Uh-huh.
sleep on the floor, like whatever, right? But like the kitchen is like the most important thing that the people have like a full size, so that way we don't have to like bring any blenders or any type of tools when I go out to travel. Like I have everything I need. And So that makes it really nice, because I've stayed at hotels and it doesn't make my food experience as good as I'd like it to be. Like, I mean, it's always good, right? Like, I can
Hmm.
have fruits and veggies in the fridge and things like that. But, like, ooh, if I want, like, homemade pizza or I want some beans and rice or, because he's Haitian. So he makes these, like, really authentic, like, Jamaican and different like cuisines. Like I mean, his food is so good that I don't even feel like we have to eat out because no one has the ability that we've gone to that can cook like him.
All right. Well, that's totally useless for the rest of us, Sarah, because you're
No.
you're not you're not sharing Captain America with us. So
I
we
know,
have to
right?
fend for ourselves. So I'm gonna a couple of the tips that I take is like if you stay at an Airbnb, and they're
Yes.
usually cheaper than hotels anyway.
Yes, they are.
Right. So a place with a good kitchen that has, your blender and your toaster and your oven and plates and cutting boards and all that.
Glasses. Yep. Mhm.
So then, so where did you? So let's leave Captain America out of this because he's annoying me with his culinary skills. Let's say you're just traveling on your own. You stay at
Okay.
the Airbnb. Um, is there like do you have requirements like it has to be walking distance to a Whole Foods or a supermarket or
Um
how do you where do you go for your food? What are the troughs out of which you feed when you're traveling?
Well, so I would prefer if it was like a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or a common market. Like that's normally where I shop at home, so I like that. And also sometimes like regular grocery stores, they have your produce items, they have oats, like you can get a lot of your basic nuts and things like that like for snacks and things at a regular grocery store. So with this particular place, I was 2 miles from a Trader Joe's and two other grocery stores. So say Trader Joe's didn't have what I was looking for, like on the other spectrum, like 2 miles the other way, there were like, another type of grocery store that had like my basic, fruits and vegetables and all the things that I could use, to make sure that I was properly nutrient
Uh huh.
so I could race really well.
Okay, cool. So let's say you're in a city and you're by yourself. Again, no Captain America. You're at your Airbnb. You have your breakfast might be these overnight oats, where you just get a
Mhm.
jar and you put the oats and the chia seeds and the fruit in, and it's just delicious in the morning. Then let's say you're going to spend the day out, like you're not going to come back for something. What would you pack?
So I really like broccoli. So I'm a big like get some broccoli and cauliflower. I really like hummus. Like I would say I'm the hummus killer because literally I could eat a whole thing of hummus, I mean, throughout the day. And my favorite one is like you can get like a basic one, but I like pine nut, and a lot of times if it has extra oil, you can just kind of drain it so it's not too much for you. And so then that would be like a really great snack that I would like carrots too, I like. And then maybe like some mixed berries, like with some pineapple, some strawberries, some blueberries, maybe even some grapes, like to go along with that. And so that would be like what I would eat maybe like 2 to 3 hours after my overnight oats, just so that I'm not like starving. So then I would get into cravings and things like that, so I always make sure that I'm full so then I don't like have those things where all of a sudden I want some kind of cheeseburger, right?
Uh huh.
And so then like in that, like if I'm going, say I'm gone for like, so we'll just say that like I'm leaving to go to the pool, right? And I don't race until maybe 2 o'clock, but like I want to go to the pool early and I want to warm up and get settled and things like that. So then like for maybe after my swim, I would pack like a big salad. I like to put fruit and vegetables in it. I like guacamole, maybe even slices of avocado. And just, what I usually like to use hummus or guacamole as like a dressing. That way it just like makes it simple and I don't have to buy extra things when I'm out because like I really like to just like I could literally buy a ton of things for under $100 for like a whole week. I mean, if I really
Yeah.
wanted to, I could, you
And
know.
and the other great thing about using guacamole or hummus as a dressing is that it's not messy. It's not like liquidy and runny. It's not going to like spill out into your backpack and get all over your clothes.
Exactly. And like a lot of times like there are like, you can buy these little even hummus packs or even guacamole packs that are like really like, like just a serving size. So that way you can even just like throw it in your bag and it makes it like super simple for packing purposes and just like being out. And then like I would also like find some nuts, like maybe either a mixed nut or maybe I really like cashews. They're high in fat, but like I like that for especially when racing because I find that like when I'm having cashews or even like pecans or like things that have like a higher fat content, it helps with my how I'm racing. So
Yeah, well, I guess also when you're racing, if you're eating like enough broccoli to get all your calories, that's like 20 pounds of broccoli. So,
yeah,
so you're
exactly.
essentially a vegetable barge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so we got some comments. Ron says we look great. Thank you, Ron.
Thank
I
you.
know, Ron, you look great too, even though we can't see you.
Yeah, exactly.
And Josh Turner has a bunch of ideas. Do you know Josh?
No, I
He's
don't think I know.
Josh LaJaunie's buddy
Oh,
from down home Louisiana with living with type 1 diabetes. And so he
nice.
was on the podcast a while back. He says chickpea salad is a go-to. Apples and bananas, and also recommends like throw some quinoa into a salad for a good carb content.
Yes, I like that. And I also sometimes will do, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes and lentils are a big race fuel for me. I like how I perform when I have lentils and sweet potatoes. So that's good. And I also like that chickpea idea. I've done that a couple times where I'll just like mash chickpea and avocado together and like just maybe a little seasoning or sometimes not. And I'll just even mix beets in there, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to taste good. Like if I'm like really inspired to just get the nutrients that I want in for, especially for a race, like I'm okay with it not being too like spectacular.
Uh huh. Right. Yeah. Things, and that's the things. Like we like this food, but it's the most important thing isn't the taste anymore. Right? Like
Yeah.
when I would travel to another city, I'd be like, oh, where are the best restaurants? Where are the gourmet experiences that I can't have anywhere else? And I did a lot of business travel, a decade ago. I'd go to, Brussels or cities in Europe, or we'd go to Kansas City and we want to know like what's the best steakhouse in Kansas City and like, what's the finest restaurant in Charlottesville. And now I'm like, yeah, it's nice to eat good food, but give me a pail of slop with some mustard on it. Just some beans, some veggies. If you go like Trader Joe's has real nice packages of things that are pretty much already cooked. Like
Yeah, I like them.
septic packed. And just the feeling of okay, I'm energized and I'm not grossly full, and now I can go do my thing. There's like a
Yeah.
better feeling than oh, this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted, and I'm going to overeat on it, and it's full of oil and fat and sugar and salt, and now I'm miserable and I'm not enjoying the rest of my trip.
Exactly. Like even yesterday, for example, I went to Hershey Park. And so at Hershey Park, like there's no plant-based options. It's all like popcorn and funnel cakes and burgers and hot dogs. And that's all you're smelling like the whole day, right? And so it's like, okay, like how can I, maximize my experience, right? So like I wake up, I go for a swim first, and then I eat my overnight oats. And then 2 hours later, I was like, okay, I'm going to have some broccoli and hummus and carrots. And then, I'll bring an apple and maybe like some kind of protein bar, in with me to the park. So then I can spend like 3 or 4 hours in there, but I have like a snack. So I'm not like feeling like, because we all like, if you smell, it's not like it never smells good again, right? But you
Yeah.
just know like that, oh, I don't want to eat that, and I don't want to,
Yeah,
I
it's like
know
the
how
really
I'll feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the really hot boyfriend or girlfriend that just you broke up with. You're like, yeah, they're still hot.
Yeah. Exactly. But you don't have to go into the temptation, right? It's just like, okay, like I'm good, you know?
Uh-huh.
So, and then even like we'll take a break and you get a hand stamp so you can like already have your food ready to go. And then like we'll have a salad ready in the fridge, bring tons of water so that you're never dehydrated, you know? And I find that like even standing in line for an hour can be fun just because like I have all the nutrients that I need and I'm well hydrated and it's like it doesn't affect me, you know, maybe as it would if I wasn't prepared or I didn't think that these little snacks that I had could help, you know, in my day.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be hangry on a line at an amusement park.
No, I did that one time and it was like really painful. Like just the whole body was just like, oh my gosh, like why didn't I have a bottle of water with me or why didn't I have that snack, you know? And we ended up that day came there for one ride, waited 2 hours and I was like, I'm good. Like I'm gonna just eat and drink the rest of the day.
Yeah, and the other thing that comes to like if you talk about a bar, like when you're traveling, it's very easy to, no pun intended, lower the bar and, like make all sorts of excuses about, well, this is a special occasion. But so if you take stuff with you, then maybe it's not your everyday. Like I wouldn't eat a Larabar just as a snack in the middle of the day. I would rather go for a banana or an apple or some frozen berries, little, rolled oats with almond milk or something. But when I'm traveling, I'll throw like if going on an airplane, like I'm going to California, I will pack like 6 Larabars in my carry-on, and I know that for that whole trip, like I don't have to worry. I mean, they don't serve food on the airplane anymore. Um,
Yeah. But they give you those like awful snacks of like Ritz crackers with cheese and like, you know, pretzels. And I mean, like a lot of it, like I would just like think back to like when I was eating those, right? And like it was like, what was I feeling? Like I was just like, oh man, like it just with the way that it melted in your mouth, right? And so then you're watching all these other people eat these snacks. But it's like it's not giving them necessarily energy. It's just giving them this like temporary feeling, right?
yes,
Of like, ooh, this is good, and then like,
it's something to
okay,
something to do. I mean, like on an airplane, like a 6 hour ride or longer, you need breaks to like mentally to break up the flight. Like, okay, in 2 hours I can have a snack. Then I'll watch the movie. Then in another hour I'll get up, I'll walk really slow to the bathroom, do some yoga in the
yeah,
galley, come
plank
back.
it out.
Right? Excuse me, could you move
Yeah,
this luggage? I need to plank in the overhead bin.
yeah, exactly. Oh,
Right. So yeah, and the other thing is like those airplane snacks. If they, generally they sell them to you, right? They'll have the laminated card that'll show like, okay, here's the Mediterranean box, which will be like crackers, two little things of celery, some hummus of very questionable provenance, and like an olive, and it'll be like 9.95.
yeah,
I'm a
uh-huh.
cheapskate. Like with I don't have a ton of money at the moment, but if I did, it would irk me to spend it on subpar, not enough food.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm bringing this like it's so amazing. I had this cooler that like for years I never used, right? Like it's just like this little bag that's like really great for traveling. You know, I can wear my little book bag and I can carry this, right? And if I travel Southwest, I can take both of those on the plane with me. I don't even have to check it in, right? So
Hmm.
I have this bag and I literally fill it up as far as I can with food so that like in any moment, you know, if I need something or, you know, whatever it is, like I'm going to have it. And it's funny, like how airplane people are constantly like, wow, like that's really smart, you know, to bring like food like that. And I was like, yeah, well, you guys don't sell anything. And even if you did, like I can buy it cheaper at the grocery store and I can, you know, make sure that my needs are met because I've had times when my needs weren't met and it's not very fun, right? So I don't want that. I don't want to experience that. So, and how it could be so simple to just pack a couple things with you, you know, so that you're able to be successful. This also applies in the car, you know, or on the train, or like when I travel on the train for like an hour, I make sure that, you know, I have a couple snacks in my bag. I have a filled up, you know, water with me to make sure that, if it's a hot day or something, you can easily carry a simple snack.
Yeah, and it doesn't take the kind of prep that I think a lot of people are imagining. Like they think, well, I remember like the picnics we used to go to, and like we'd prep for 3 days for a picnic,
Yeah.
right? Like it doesn't have to be like that. It's just like you think about what are the foods that travel well, that can withstand a little bit of heat, that can withstand a little bit of bumping around, that I can eat with my fingers. I don't, I don't need to cut them. I don't need utensils and bone china settings. And it turns out to be largely the foods that we would eat every day. Vegetables, spreads, beans, lentils, rice, fruits and vegetables. And fruit is one of the great things. Like I love that. When you eat the way we do, we're used to sort of like paying a premium for like clean food. But you go to the airport, like the cheapest thing you can buy is $3.25, like a Cliff Bar. It's like $3.50. Then you've got the teeny little packs of like raw almonds, like $7.99. And then there's this usually a basket of apples and bananas. They're like $1 each, and no one's touching them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, for $6, I could buy 4 bananas and 2 apples. That's like all my calories for the morning and lunch, and it's $6.
Yeah. And I mean, because we're not, educated like that, right? Like it's not like this isn't a normal way to, eat per se, because like we've been shared conditionally that, your meal consists of like, sitting down somewhere, and you need to have these particular foods in there, and it has to, we've just kind of created like all this extra when it's just so simple, just like our ancestors, we just picked vegetables and fruit and we kept it moving.
Yeah, you think about like the lions on the savannas. Where are we going to put all this? Where are we going to sit? Where's the tablecloth? Right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm in favor of like family meals, of sitting down, of relaxing. But when you're traveling, you can let go of all of that and just and return. And in fact, traveling is like a good place to practice eating at home, because you add these additional sort of constraints, and it allows you to get real clear and creative about what are the essential things that I need in order to fuel myself.
And then you just get better the more you practice it. Like now it's like normal. Like I will never travel on a plane without some snacks, like I'm always going to bring my cooler, because that's just, I've had so much success with it, so it just makes it easier.
Right. Elizabeth says she still likes her food sliced. Well,
Well, it's only a couple hours,
yeah. If you're traveling on a plane, you could use a credit card, I guess.
Yeah.
Get one of those like Chase Sapphire with the metal credit cards. You could use that to cut your food. But yeah, like in terms of preparation, like I wouldn't travel somewhere without a razor, without a change of underwear, and there's different ways of doing it. Like Josh Lajani likes to travel with nothing and just sort of forage his way, and in some cases he pays a premium for that. In other cases, he's very comfortable sort of going anywhere and finding his own food. But wherever you are, like I have back down there, I have a shoebox that says travel, and it's got like adapters, it's got extra batteries, and it's got like 8 Larabars. So I don't, like the night before, I'm going up to Boston, I didn't pack anything. Like I just have extra. Just always be prepared.
It's almost like you have like in the grocery store where they have like those like that sample drawer, right? Where it's like, oh, here's my mini like toothpaste and toothbrush, and like here's the aisle for travel. Like you have that in your house. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to have a travel box.
Oh, it's great. I mean, one of the best things I ever did was like a separate little toiletries bag just for travel. So I don't have to, I forgot this. I don't have aftershave. No toothbrush. Like, you ever like, I was once in New York City without a toothbrush. It's like, really? They're all $4?
Yeah.
So yeah, just being as prepared as you want to be for anything else for your travels.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Totally.
cool. Anything else before we let all these good people go?
Um,
Any questions from folks watching live?
yeah. I mean, I feel like that covers all the goods of the food.
Cool, cool. Yeah, and the other thing he says, like, if you are okay with water, you're pretty good, like beverage wise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you don't need any tea or, coffee or anything like that, it works.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sarah, thank you for dropping your wisdom on us.
Cool. See you guys next
See you
time.
next Tuesday.
Okay, bye.
Bye.